Here is how these little guys became my most hated enemy in Warframe. There are a handful of open world areas in Warframe, and as a new player, I thought it would be a great idea to complete a few open world bounty missions on Earth to discover the world a little and collect some resources while I was there. But there was one common problem with all of my missions. These guys. Whether I was escorting an important package, saving a prisoner from captivity, or even taking out waves of enemies at a camp, they were there like a mosquito buzzing around your head when you're trying to sleep, constantly trying to take your attention away from your main mission for a short session of aim training in the sky. Now, don't get me wrong, these airborne enemies really don't do much damage, and they are fairly easy to take out. But when getting detected in a mission means a prisoner might get blown up, they really do get in the way. But it gets even worse. During a search and capture mission, and by complete accident if I'm honest, I managed to kill one of the pilots without destroying their vehicle, and while the dead pilot fell in a very satisfying way, their vehicle kind of just floated gently to the ground. Now, this was my first interaction with a vehicle in Warframe, so there was nothing that had previously shown me if I could use any kind of transport other than fast travel, but you know I had to try it just in case. And sure enough, a small mount vehicle button popped up. This was a real 5-head moment for me as I began my first Warframe joyride, reaching movement speeds I had only dreamt about until now. So I head towards my objective with no idea how to control the chicken-leg shaped transport, only to be shot out of the sky moments later by the enemies on the ground. After quickly dealing with business, and just as I wanted to explore what I thought was a potential point of interest, I heard the annoying enemies above once again throwing tiny pebbles of damage in my rough direction. This time round, I managed to extract the pilot while leaving the ship with much more health, so I could hopefully enjoy my revenge joyride a little longer. Ironically, there's actually an achievement you can unlock when traveling 10 kilometers in Dargin called Joyride. That's 56,000 bananas in freedom units, but soon enough I found something unexpected on my travels. It's a giant fucking fish! And at this point, I discovered just how terrible the Dargin's controls were. They were so bad that, in fact, no matter which button I pressed, it would make it go faster in one direction or another, as if they hadn't planned any brakes on it. Having tried even the backwards button, I did what any logical person would do, and jumped. It was at this point that I realized I had fucked up. I was miles away from any sign of life, my Warframe was not able to swim at all, and would teleport back to land if I so much as looked at any water deeper than ankle depth. So I grabbed the selfie I'd come for, began a new mission, and parkoured my way back to my newly acquired fast travel system first try, and took off at top speed, only to realize the mission was right next to me. Having forgotten that the Dargin was an uncontrollable mess of a machine and should be destroyed on sight, I had managed to travel over 500 meters away from the objective, almost abandoning it completely before I was able to turn it around. Now, I was able to gently park back in the mission radius just in time, only to have the mosquitoes return to taunt me moments later as I tried to protect my drone. Fortunately though, my Twitch chat had mentioned a much nicer transport method that would unlock a little later called the K-Drive. So make sure to follow me on Twitch to catch me enjoying that, and let me know what your favorite way of getting around Warframe is down in the comments.